Action News Now Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
Well, more of this intense heat out there as we're continuing through our weekend. Temperatures again pushing into the triple digits here in the valley. Willow's weather station not reporting at this hour, but Mount Shasta City looking at some upper 60s. That's because they've got some light rain moving through the area. Not a bad little break from some of the 80s, 90s for them today, but heat advisories in effect for the rest of us and do still have some excessive heat warnings, but now have been extended through 8 p.m. Wednesday. They were in effect through Tuesday just yesterday, but still looking at valley foothill temperatures over the next few days in the mid to high 90s for the foothills, but still more of these triple digits for the valley. Overnight temperatures only getting as low as upper 60s and some lower 70s. And meanwhile, that excessive heat warning still in effect through 11 p.m. on Tuesday, and then we should get some cooler weather coming back for the folks in the higher elevations, but do have some active weather going on and quite a bit of some storm activity. As I mentioned, do have more of that rain popping up, and again, Mount Shasta City seeing a nice little cool down because of it. But a lot of lightning associated with this, a lot of instability with the heat we've been seeing. And again, we get the moisture that's been coming in through the delta, and storms have plenty of fuel to feed off of, but mainly the heat is what's got them going, and then they get some lift off the mountains. A lot of lightning, and we did see some fairly moderate to heavy rainfall at times. They've already seen 3 inches fall in northern Trinity County. There is a flood advisory in effect until 7:30 this evening, but again, most of this storm activity moving pretty quickly, and once we do lose a little bit more of the heat, definitely starting to see it falling apart more, but definitely looking at more of those heavier showers staying in Trinity County, but still we're starting to see more of the storms progressing into western Siskiyou counties. And again, a lot of lightning with these storms and could trigger some maybe little small spot fires, but thankfully we do get the rain associated with it also. Over in Modoc County, more of the stormy activity, and at the moment kind of splitting across Alturas, but again, a lot of some rain with this and a lot of lightning. Again, a lot of instability, and thankfully we should start to see these storms calm down really as we get closer towards 8, 9 o'clock this evening, and then we dry out. And still not looking at much of a cool down overnight, but hot weather tomorrow. Again, we get more of that moisture coming in. Could see more of those storms triggered off tomorrow afternoon, and it's typically when we get the hottest part of the day is when more of these start to develop a bit more. Into Tuesday, though, not expecting any of the storms, and as we continue through the week, should start to see the chances for those shower storms lessen. But heat sticking around. Again, Mount Shasta City, cooler out there right now, but they're going to be joining us again as we start to heat up into the work week. 60s, 70s is some of the cooler temperatures that we're expecting during the overnight. 56 for Alturas, not too bad, but looking at tomorrow afternoon, again, Valley going to be ranging between 105 to 110. Still upper 80s, 90s across the higher elevations, and then into Tuesday, Wednesday, likely seeing some of the hottest temperatures in the extended forecast. Redding, Red Bluff getting closer towards the 110-degree mark, and then more of a heat up for the higher elevations. Again, more of those 90s coming back for folks around Mount Shasta City and Chester. Good week to be out at the pool or be out at the lake or be out of town. Maybe the coastline is looking pretty good, but again, still looking at a little bit of a warm-up for the next few days. But we're looking at a cooling trend towards Friday and the coming weekend. We're still hoping for some 90s eventually coming back for the valley, but still heat advisories in effect, and you can see a couple 110-degree days for Redding there. 102 is about the coolest they're going to see, and still just drink lots of water, stay inside if you can, and maybe get the outside work done pretty early.
Every day looks hot, but the midweek looks ridiculously, brutally hot.
I mean, Mount Shasta City with the 60s right now, not too bad, but the storms
road
definitely
trip.
Definitely not pleasant either way.